Hello, everybody. My name is Sean, and I'd like to go over the culture of Bahrain. Bahrain is a small island in the Arabian Gulf or the Persian Gulf, depending on which part of the world you're from. You can kind of call it either or. I spent nearly or just over 2 years in Bahrain when I was in the U.S. military. That was where we were home ported, so I actually got to spend quite a bit of time interacting with the culture and the people out there. Today I'm going to go through the different parts of the culture, including religion and the languages that are spoke there. I'm going to talk about the the etiquettes for greetings, kind of what is worn there, what has been worn there in the past. And then I'll kind of go over kind of what you would do if you were, other examples of what you would do if you were greeting a national from Bahrain. So first off, I'll go ahead and start with religion. It's dominantly Islam there. There are other sects, other religions there, including Christianity and Hindu. There is a big presence of Indians there. But as far as Islam in Bahrain, it is the dominant religion, and the two sects of that are Sunni and Shia. If you know anything about the split between the two, it has to do with when it was started. When Muhammad died over 600 years ago. It was kind of who decided who was going to take over the caliph. And what you'll notice is when you're out there is that the Sunni is kind of the elite types. They're typically have a little bit more money. They typically run the political arenas, and they're economically more sound. The Shiite are a little more destitute in a sense. They kind of live in the ghettos and the more of the worst part of town. When I was there, there was actually the Arab Spring had begun, and it was kind of a dispute between the Sunni and Shiite. Basically, the Shiite felt that, from my understanding, that they were being treated unfairly, and which is probable because they didn't really have much of representation within the government there, and which that turned into be quite an ugly scenario within Bahrain. So the languages that are spoke there is Arabic's the official language, and there's a few different dialects of that. It's Farsi and Urdu, and Farsi being spoken by the Arabic speaking people, and then Urdu is spoken by the Indians and Persian residents. So as far as the interpersonal protocol of when if you ever have a chance to visit Bahrain, the greetings there are generally very lengthy, and they generally start by asking about each other's healths and their family's healths and their family and how they're doing. The man will not ask about another man's wife. It's just not the way of the world over there. Everyone stands when someone enters a room, and that person will make the rounds, shaking hands. And then usually after that, when they shake, they'll bring their hand up to their heart to kind of show affection. Women and men don't shake hands typically, but they can. But that's only if it's initiated by a woman. It is a traditional or part of the culture that it's traditional that when you meet someone, you would offer them coffee and tea. And if you don't do this, it can be considered kind of rude. So some of the things that they wear out there is a long robe called a athub. And I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably not, but the wealthier people tend to wear thobs that are kind of tailored in a more Western style. Men also wrap their heads in the agutra, which I'm probably not saying that right either. And then women cover their clothes with the traditional black cloak, which is goes over their head. They wear a thin veil, and it covers their face. And then some of the younger women, they'll leave their faces and hands uncovered, but that is evidently a rare thing. During Ramadan, that wouldn't probably be accepted at all. And Ramadan's basically their most holiest holiday, which lasts 30 days. And they are a little more strict on how you celebrate Islam. When I was there, especially my first time there, it was kind of intimidating being in a dominantly Islamic nation when things were kind of timid between the United States and the Middle East. But it really, after spending long periods there, I kind of learned that they're just people like us, and they can be tremendously friendly, and that friendliness only comes if it's given too. So they are very enthusiastic when you meet someone, or if you're seeing them again. They do. Men will shake hands and they'll kiss each other on the cheek. Women will hug and kiss close friends, and when Bahrainis greet each other, they will take the time out to talk about general things. They really hold that as one of their strong values of really getting to know people and and being interested in what they talk about. They do celebrate certain holidays, especially Ramadan, the Eid, Hajj. They give gifts during these times. If you're ever invited into a Bahraini's house, it's best to bring a houseplant, or some chocolates, or a small gift. When you give the gift, you want to say that the gift is for your host, never the hostess. And if you're a man, you're not going to meet her. So, flowers are not typically something you would give a man out there, it's about the same here. The man wouldn't give another man flowers typically, but a woman could give that to her hostess. You don't give alcohol. Alcohol is pretty much strictly prohibited in the Islamic faith. Gifts are always given with two hands, and they're not open when they receive them. I guess they wait until it's a little more appropriate to do. So that is kind of my 2 cents towards the culture of Bahrain, or the Kingdom of Bahrain. It's definitely kind of a hot place to go, but I actually enjoyed my time out there. And if you ever get a chance, just do a little studying, and Bahrainis will typically welcome you in and be very friendly, as long as that's reciprocated back to them. So thank you, and appreciate your time for listening. Goodbye.